because multiplication and division are really the same. But the product rule says that if I take the limit of two factors of quotient or a product, and then I could just multiply the limits and that'll give me the same thing. So in other words, this is going to be equal to, remember that tangent is really the same as sine over cosine. So I'm going to write this as sine of x over x, okay, times 1 over cosine. Now here, cosine, here we have no problems because when cosine equals 0, what's that? Do you guys remember? 1, right? Cosine of 0 is 1, right? So this portion becomes 1. So we have no issue there. Here I'll show you how to address this issue, but this is defined, right? We could come up with an answer for this one, okay? So what this allows me to do is I could separate these and take the limit of this one, whatever it is, and then multiply it by the limit of this one. Okay? You guys with me so far? So now, sine of x over x, what is the value of that as it approaches 0? Well, I think, and we kind of skipped this. So, I didn't necessarily skip it, but it shows that it's 1. The reason that it's 1 is because, well, I'll tell you what, just accept it for now and I'll do the proof. But this right here is always going to equal 1. This will always equal 1, and I'll do the proof later. So we have 1 over cosine of 0. Okay? You're going to have to memorize this. This will come up definitely for sure. This whole thing here.
Wait, Mr.
That equals 1. And I'll prove that to you a little bit later.
Wait, Mr. F.
Yes?
Why do you, why, if you started with tan of x, why do you go to sine?
Well, because I know that this equals 1, and I probably should have done that proof before we did that example. We talked about it briefly the other day, and it's not tedious, but I don't want to distract us from what we're doing. So we separated it because this is actually going to be 1 times 1, okay, which is just 1. See, I can't take, if I leave this like this, I can't take the limit of it because I have to plug in 0 in the denominator. And so you might be asking yourself, well, Mr. Adams, I haven't quite memorized this limit of sine of x over x as x approaches 0 equals 1 yet. But it does. And so what I've done, by separating it into sine of x over x times the quantity 1 over cosine of x, I'm able to take the limit of this and able to take the limit of this and then multiply those two limits together and get a total product limit. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on that?
Does cosine